Hello, my name is Liba. Today I want to talk about learning English. English changed my life. It helped me make friends, dream bigger, and open new doors. When I started, I was scared. I didn't know many words, and my accent was different, but I didn't stop. Little by little I learned, just like a baby learning to walk. I fell many times, but I got up. Maybe you feel shy or afraid to speak. Maybe you worry about mistakes, but don't be afraid. Mistakes help us learn. If we don't try, we can't get better. Learning to speak English is like learning to swim. At first, it feels hard, but with practice, it gets easier. Listen to English. The more you listen, the more you learn. You can practice speaking with friends or even by yourself. I used to talk to myself in English. It may feel strange, but it helps. You don't need to know big words. Simple words are good enough. Speak what you want to say. People will understand you, and over time, you'll learn more words. When I was learning, I worried, what if people laugh at me? But then I realized something. If I didn't speak, I would never get better. So I kept talking, and most people were kind. If you feel nervous, that's okay. Take a deep breath and smile. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. Another tip is to read out loud. This helps you get better. When you read, you practice speaking too. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you don't know how to say something, ask someone. Asking helps you learn. Always believe in yourself. If you think, I can do this, you will improve. Learning English is like climbing a mountain. You take one small step at a time, and soon you'll reach the top. Start today. Speak English as much as you can. Don't worry about mistakes. Keep trying, and one day you will say, I did it. Learning English is like planting a tree. It grows slowly, but it becomes strong. You will be proud of yourself for not giving up. Remember, the most important thing is to never stop trying. Keep going, and you'll get better. I remember when I first spoke in English. My heart was racing. I was scared, but I tried anyway. And guess what? I felt proud of myself for trying. Speaking English isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave. If you don't speak, your English will stay weak. But the more you speak, the stronger you get. When I started, I watched English movies. At first, I didn't understand much, but I kept watching and learning. It helped me learn words, actions, and feelings. Language isn't just about words, it's about how you connect with others. Smile when you're happy, frown when you're confused, show your feelings when you speak. Sometimes you might feel stuck, but don't give up. Learning is like climbing a hill. Sometimes it's fast and sometimes it's slow, but you are always moving forward. Set small goals. Focus on learning one thing at a time, like new words or pronunciation. Celebrate every little progress. Keeping a journal in English helps too. Write about your day. It will help you think in English. You can also practice with a friend. It's fun, and you learn together. Don't be afraid to speak to native English speakers. They understand you are learning. If you make a mistake, it's okay. They may correct you, and that helps you learn. There will be hard days, but don't give up. You are stronger than you think. The first step is to try. Learning English opens many doors. You can travel, meet people, and learn new things. English connects us. So, when you feel tired, remember why you started. Think about the future, when you can speak English with confidence. Learning is hard, but you're doing a great job. If you make a mistake, don't be hard on yourself. Say, I'm learning and I'm getting better. Soon, you will surprise yourself. You'll understand more, and your English will get stronger. One day, I realized that English wasn't just about words. It was about connecting with people. I spoke to a tourist, and they smiled when they understood me. That made me proud. Learning English has taught me patience. Every word, every sentence is a small victory. Remember, every time you speak, you are winning. Keep practicing every day. Talk to yourself, describe things, and use English in your life. It will help you. You don't need to know every word. Simple words are enough. What matters is that you can share your thoughts. Celebrate every success, no matter how small. Did you speak in English today? That's great. Did you learn a new word? Celebrate it. When you make a mistake, don't feel bad. Celebrate it. Mistakes mean you are learning. Keep going, and one day you will look back and be proud of how far you've come. Chapter 2. I remember when I first started learning English. It was hard. I didn't understand everything. I didn't know how to speak well, but I kept trying. Little by little, I started to understand more. I made many mistakes, but each mistake taught me something new. At first, I was afraid to speak. I thought people would laugh at me. I thought my accent was wrong. I didn't know if people would understand me. But then I realized something. It's okay to make mistakes. Making mistakes is part of learning. If you don't try, you can't get better. The first time I spoke to someone in English, my hands were shaking. My heart was racing. I didn't know if I could do it, but I took a deep breath and said something. I remember the feeling when the other person smiled and understood me. It made me feel proud. It wasn't easy. Sometimes I felt tired. Sometimes I felt like giving up. But every time I wanted to stop, I remembered my goal. I wanted to speak English. I wanted to learn, and that kept me going. I started practicing every day. I didn't wait for a special class. I practiced when I could. I would speak to myself in English. I would talk about what I saw, what I did, and what I was thinking. It felt funny at first, but it helped. I got better at speaking. I got more comfortable with English. Another thing I did was listen to English. I watched movies in English. At first, it was hard. I didn't understand everything, but slowly, I started to catch words and phrases. I learned how people spoke. I learned how they used their voices, their faces, and their hands. Listening helped me speak better. I could hear how words were pronounced. I learned new words and how to use them. It was like learning a song. The more you hear it, the easier it becomes to sing. I also tried reading in English. At first, it was slow. I didn't know many words, but I kept reading. Sometimes I would look up words I didn't know. I learned more and more every day, and the best part was that I didn't have to memorize everything. Over time, I started to remember the words. One thing that helped me was to not be afraid to ask questions. If I didn't understand something, I would ask. I asked my friends, teachers, or even strangers. People were always happy to help. Asking questions is how we learn. It's okay not to know everything. Another thing I did was set small goals. I didn't try to learn everything at once. I focused on learning a few new words each day. I practiced speaking a little every day, and with each small goal I reached, I felt proud of myself. I also learned that it's important to be patient. Learning a language takes time. You won't learn everything in one day, but every day you learn something new, and that adds up. Sometimes I felt stuck. I thought I wasn't improving, but then I would look back and see how far I had come. I could speak better than before. I could understand more than before. That kept me going. I also made sure to celebrate my progress. When I learned a new word, I felt happy. When I had a conversation in English, I felt proud. Every little step is important. Don't wait for big moments to celebrate. Celebrate the small steps too. When I spoke to people in English, I was afraid of making mistakes, but I learned something important. People don't mind mistakes. They understand that I am learning. Most people want to help. They won't laugh at you. They will support you. Over time, I became more confident. I stopped worrying about mistakes. I focused on what I wanted to say. I focused on expressing myself. The more I spoke, the better I became. The more I practiced, the easier it got. I also learned that it's important to speak every day. Even if you don't have someone to speak to yourself. Talk about your day, your thoughts, or your plans. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. The more you practice, the better your English gets. Sometimes I would speak with my friends in English. We would practice together. At first, it was hard, but over time it became easier. We made mistakes, but that was okay. We learned from each other. I also found that writing in English helped me. I would write small things, like what I did during the day. Writing helped me think in English. It also helped me remember new words. Every time I wrote, I got better. I remember when I had my first real conversation in English. It was with a stranger. I was nervous. I didn't know if I could speak well, but I tried, and guess what? The person understood me. They smiled and helped me when I made a mistake. It felt so good. After that, I was less afraid to speak. I knew that even if I made a mistake, it was okay. Mistakes help you grow. They help you get better. One thing I always tell myself is, don't give up, no matter how hard it gets. Keep going. Every time you speak, you get better. Every time you practice, you improve. The journey to learn English is not easy, but it is worth it. Each step you take brings you closer to your goal. If you keep trying, you will speak English one day. Don't be afraid. Keep going. You are learning, and you are getting better. Chapter 3. Learning English is not always easy. Sometimes you might feel like you're not making progress. But I want you to remember something. Every small step counts. Every time you practice, you get better. Even if it feels slow, you are moving forward. When I was learning, I used to get frustrated. I wanted to speak perfectly right away, but I learned that learning takes time. There is no rush. It's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if you don't understand everything right away. What matters is that you keep going. One of the best things you can do is practice every day. It doesn't have to be for a long time. Even 10 or 15 minutes a day can help. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. If you practice every day, you will notice that you understand more and your speaking gets better. I also learned that it's important to enjoy the process. If you enjoy learning, it will be easier. You can find fun ways to practice. You can watch movies, listen to music, or read books in English. The more fun it is, the more you will want to practice. Another thing I did was try to think in English. At first, I had to translate everything in my head. But over time, I tried to stop thinking in my language and started thinking in English. It was hard at first, but it helped me speak faster. When you think in English, it becomes more natural. I also learned to be patient with myself. Sometimes I felt like I wasn't improving, but when I looked back, I saw how much I had learned. Every time you learn a new word or say a sentence in English, that's progress. Celebrate those small victories. One of the best ways to practice speaking is by talking to others. You don't need to wait until you are perfect. You can speak with friends or family. You can find a language partner who wants to practice English too. It's okay to make mistakes. Speaking with others helps you get better. Another way to practice is to talk to yourself. It may feel strange at first, but it helps. You can practice speaking about your day or describe things around you. You can pretend you are having a conversation with someone. The more you practice speaking, the easier it becomes. I also found that listening to English was very helpful. When you listen, you learn how words sound. You learn how to use them in sentences. You can listen to songs, podcasts, or watch TV shows in English. Even if you don't understand everything, just listening helps. Sometimes, I would listen to a song in English and try to understand the words. I would write down the words I heard. It was fun, and it helped me learn new words. Listening is a great way to improve your English. Another thing that helped me was reading in English. I didn't try to read everything at once. I started with simple books or short articles. Over time, I read more difficult things. Reading helps you learn new words and helps you understand how sentences are formed. You don't have to read for hours. Even reading for 10 minutes a day helps. Choose something you like. It can be a book, a short story, or even a blog. The more you read, the better your English becomes. I also learned that making mistakes is normal. When I first started, I made many mistakes. I was scared people would laugh at me, but most people were kind. They helped me when I made mistakes. If you make a mistake, don't be afraid. Mistakes help you learn. One time, I said the wrong word in a sentence. I was nervous, but the person I was speaking to smiled and helped me. I learned the correct word, and that made me feel good. Every mistake is a chance to learn something new. You don't need to be perfect to speak English. Just try your best. People will understand you, even if you make mistakes. The important thing is to keep speaking. The more you speak, the more comfortable you will become. Another thing that helped me was setting small goals. I didn't try to learn everything at once. Instead, I focused on learning a few new words each day. I also worked on my pronunciation. Small goals helped me stay motivated. I remember when I could finally introduce myself in English. It felt amazing. I was so proud of myself. It was a small goal, but it made a big difference. Celebrating small successes is important. Each time you reach a goal, take a moment to feel proud. You will have good days and bad days. Some days you will feel like you are improving. Other days you might feel stuck. But don't give up. Even on the hard days, you are still learning. Keep going, and you will improve. I also learned that it's okay to take breaks. Sometimes I would feel tired and take a break from learning. That was okay. It's important to rest. When you come back to learning, you will feel refreshed and ready to continue. If you ever feel discouraged, remember why you started. Think about the reasons you want to learn English. Maybe it's to get a better job, travel, or meet new people. Whatever your reason is, hold on to it. It will keep you going when things feel hard. Learning English is a journey. It takes time, but it is worth it. Every day, you are getting better. Even if it doesn't feel like it, you are improving. Keep practicing, keep learning, and one day you will be able to speak English with confidence. Chapter 4. When I first started speaking English, I was very nervous. My heart would race and my hands would shake. I was afraid people wouldn't understand me. I thought I had to speak perfectly, but over time I learned that it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to make mistakes. The most important thing is to try. One thing that helped me was to remind myself that no one expects me to be perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Even people who speak English very well make mistakes sometimes. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to improve. Every time I made a mistake, I tried to learn from it. I would ask myself, what did I do wrong? How can I say it better next time? Making mistakes is how we learn. If you never make mistakes, you won't know what to improve. So don't be afraid to make them. Another thing that helped me was to keep practicing every day. I didn't wait for a special day to practice. I practiced whenever I had the chance, even if it was just for a few minutes. I practiced. I would speak to myself in English. I would talk about my day or what I was thinking. The more I practiced, the easier it became. I also started to listen to English more. I listened to songs, podcasts, and TV shows in English. At first, I didn't understand everything, but I didn't give up. I kept listening. The more I listened, the more I learned. I could hear how words were pronounced and how people spoke. I began to understand more, even though I couldn't understand everything at once. One thing I did was try to repeat what I heard. If I heard a sentence or a phrase I liked, I would repeat it. I would try to say it the same way the person said it. This helped me with my pronunciation. It also helped me feel more confident when I spoke. I also found that reading in English helped a lot. At first, I started with simple books. I didn't try to read something hard right away. I read things that were easy for me. Little by little, I moved to harder books. Reading helped me learn new words and understand how sentences are formed. It helped me improve my vocabulary. I didn't read for hours. I read for just a few minutes every day. Even if I only learned one new word, that was progress. The more I read, the more I learned. It made me feel good because I could see myself improving. Another thing that helped me was to find people to practice with. I found a few friends who wanted to practice English too. We would meet up and speak only in English. At first, it was hard. We didn't know many words, and we made many mistakes, but we didn't mind. We laughed at our mistakes and learned from them. It was fun. I also practiced speaking with people who were native speakers. At first, I was scared. I thought they would laugh at me, but I found out that most people are kind. They want to help. They understand that you are learning. If I made a mistake, they would correct me gently, and that helped me improve. I realized that the more I spoke, the more comfortable I became.